Today has been such sloppy price action. You can see how rangy we are. We were trading mostly on the 2 and 3 minute today, as you can see by structure. Like the body's really holding the gaps right here. This 3 minute, as well as this 3 minute, as well as the 3 minute we're currently in, trading to my final TP target, which is discount of the range buy side liquidity. Sorry, premium. If we're just looking at the range, right, this is our premium high on the 5 minute right here. This is the highest high we get to until we get to like 80-90% of the range, which is up here, which is more like 90%. So what I was looking for was this target. The reason why I didn't hold it is because I was already at a 1 to 2 longing right here, and I don't know why my executions aren't. Oh, I think I just took off the charting. So anyway, long was right here, entry after this SMT at discount, 10:30 opening price. I had to wait for 10:30, which is the 90-minute candle. So I wanted to get in below that. 10:30 is right here. So after the 30-second, I saw that this bounce price range was holding. I was looking at how the 15-second, the bodies are holding on that. Very, very aggressive bullish. So after the single candle, I knew that our direction was going to be bullish for the 30 minutes, sorry, for the 90-minute PO3. So the reason why I exited at this point was because I didn't want to hold this any longer. I mean, it was retrading on the 3 minute. It was looking really nasty on YM. This is also where we're reaching our premium of the range high. I mean, I do expect that we're going to go higher. I was thinking taking two off because I was in four contracts, take two off and then another two at this high, but I just decided to exit for $700. I risked 44 points on this, so it's 350 bucks, like 45 points. And my exit was, like I said, right here, 1 to 2, barely 1 to 2. So it wasn't like I was at 1 to 3 here for like 1,100, $1,200, but because we're so volatile, look at that, 100, basically 130 points is here, and then 90 is there. It's a 40-point difference. So very aggressive. I probably should start exiting at these highs and be certain if I'm going to hold for a longer move or not. But today I just waited for this. I waited all morning. So off of this little short we had for a 30-minute PO3, I thought it was going to be bearish. Then we saw a little SMT right here to form bullish, and this was still a protected low for the entirety of AM. And you can see these on ES still protected. This was the sweep. This was the prominent sweep that I was looking for, because on the 5 minute it looked like we were just holding above this gap. I was initially looking at this breaker right here, this breaker range to be traded in this, because right here at 950 it looks like we were going bearish. 950 it looks like we're bearish. The 15-minute got a tap at 10 a.m., but by that time it just kind of looked like ES and NQ were consolidating but moving higher. And so I was looking for a discount of the range sweep after we swept this high. OTE sweep, 10 a.m. price opens. We have time-based alignment for a high time frame PO3. We have crack correlation alignment. We have a microcycle here between X and the new cycle. Like I say, I consider this turning point a low for both the next cycle and the previous cycle. So since this is our low of X, our new expansion, which I'm expecting because it's our 10:30 candle, I'm expecting expansion to expansion for the daily because we have a premium buy side target. And ES has yet to hit previous day high, which we have hit on NQ, which is right here. So that happened in the morning. I think that is what sent us short, gave us kind of like this weird range for the day, because we're very different in terms of where we're trading on the range, but we're not doing opposite of each other like we are on YM. And see, there's our push up. And this 90-minute candle, there's still like an hour left of it almost. So there was no reason for me to exit early, to be honest. The 3 minute was holding perfectly. You just have to wait and sit out the retraces. That's really it. If 3 minute structure didn't change, and I'll say this, if 3 minute structure did change, we'd probably be at like 42 points. Like honestly, your stop would be here. So the reason why I exited at 90 points is because, or 95 points, is because it was 95 points. It wasn't, I don't think it was 90. I think it was closer to 90. But oh my god, look at that movement, bro. Like it goes to the target. Sure, it's gonna go there. for a 1 to 4.5 instead of a 1 to 2. But still, I preferred this exit. I could have partialed, which next time I'm going to do, because if 3 minute is clear, if I have a winning day in my hands, then I'll partial, let the runners go to where I want my longer time frame hold to be. But we were right on the direction and at the right time too, because this is the time where if you entered, you'd be in the trade for the least amount of time. You would have had this crack correlation. If you got in early, you would have had to sit through this retrace and probably would have got stopped out in profit because you don't want to hold on price action like today. Like I said, we had a breaker coming into open, previous day high sweep, SMT with the highs. We didn't have a bearish DC, but we had bullish DC that remained intact for the rest of the day. So I saw the cycles as A, X, A, M accumulate manipulation. This DC was M. So an early manipulation. It didn't happen in open. And then distribution. And I was waiting for distribution in the 90 minutes and X to like carry us over. So X is at 10:30. So I was looking, are we gonna have like a late uh distribution? Because it's gonna, if it's not happening by like 10 o'clock and doesn't continue for 10:30, then we're stalling for 10 o'clock and waiting for 10:30. So that's why my 10:30 entry was the best entry of the day, because you just had to wait and you had the most confluences aligned and you were certain in the direction after this 30-second inverse, and you have this crank correlation at discount of the range. Plus ES was going to inverse this 15 minute and inversing this 15 that I saw as a breaker right here, the breaker for value up range, because this is really sloppy breaker. Technically, we didn't break market structure at this low. If we did break market structure here, like we made a lower low here instead of this, then it would be an actual breaker, but it was only a breaker on the 5 minute. And because it wasn't one on the 15 minute, then it wasn't as high probability for shorts. And 15 minute is like almost certain that we're gonna change direction for the day. So because of that, I wasn't going to enter on shorts. I was just waiting for longs to set up. And it took a while because we were mostly trading in premium of the range today for our, like, this is our 30 minute PO3 range, and we're still stuck in that for ES. So anyway, that is the trade we took today. Still holding this to premium of the range or for the next 45, probably 40 minutes of this candle, because we did have true microcycle open, and waiting for this is actually like the best thing to do because it's going to have a retrace, it's going to have a manipulation, it's going to move higher, but you have to sit and wait it out. So let me just mark all these. So true microcycle open is either going to send us lower for distribution in this if we're like really seek and destroy today, kind of like yesterday, and it's going to manipulate lower to send us higher and just continue the 4 hour candle range if it's going to do that. And I think it is going to do that, but it's like, look at it, it's just looking sloppy. So my exit, it was fine. It wasn't great. It was fine, just fine, but it wasn't emotional. And that's the most important thing. I exited when I saw, okay, I'll take this profit out. I don't mind. I don't want to lose any more than this because I was like holding at 900, 800, hit to 700. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it out. My peak was 1200. So I'll take out holding 1R and taking the open P&L of minus 1R. Like I can deal with that. More than that, then it's just kind of not worth it for me. I'd rather be out of the trade because 1 to 2 is still a winning statistic with my model. I just like to hold for 1 to 3, and some days I'll size up or risk differently to hold past, or like to trade past one loss or like 1.5R loss. Usually never past 1.5R. One regular size, one lower size, but today just wasn't clean. It wasn't clean. So I even sized down today 4 contracts because I had a 44-point stop. I could have went in 5 or 6, and that would still be like $400 to $500 risk. But today just didn't feel like the day to do that. And even though it's going to our target, it just wasn't a good quality day. Even though 10:30 is probably the best quality model you get out of all of AM session, it still wasn't like a good quality day in general. It's taking, like if it takes to the rest of the 90 minute to hit this buy side, sure, it happened within the time we expected, but it's just taking too long, and it's having too many crank correlations on the way and too many deviations between ES and NQ, especially. And YM, yeah, see, YM's already reversing. and I wouldn't hold it to that. See how different YM is? I mean, we were just bearish for the Po3 and then barely trading to CE in 10 a.m. and 10:30. So that for that reason, I also closed. You can see the time was 10:51, just right here. Where's 51? So right here, I exited here. It was aggressive move down. I thought that we would inverse the 2 minute, and if we're inversing the 2 minute, then chances are we're just gonna retrace into the range, and then it'll like be barely a winning day for me. So another reason why I exited shorts early, 1 to 2. It's completely fine. So that'll conclude the video. Just kind of a get back into it because I was not trading well the past 2 days. So I do need to show like what I've been doing on the charts, how I'm reading the charts, because today was a good day. If you waited, if you were patient for 10:30, which is like the latest I want to trade, that's our latest model. And you can hold that for 2 90-minute candles. That's really about it. That, and like I say, till 12 o'clock, which is the second 90-minute candle of AM. First one starts at 9:30. Um, 9:30 to, am I tripping? No, no, sorry, 9 o'clock, 10:30, and 10:30 to 12. So that's it. That wraps up the trading day.